Greetings, greetings, free people across the earth. Greetings, free people. When in the course of human event, it becomes necessary for the common people to dissolve the political bonds which have connected them with another and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's creator entitled them a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the cause which impelled them to the separation from whichever corporate body politic or foreign construct. We, the common people, hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness in the form of ownership of property. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, which is the common people. That whenever any form of government become destructive to these ends, it is the absolute right of the common people to alter or abolish that oppressive government and institute a new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Give thanks and praise. And as such, I present solution 2, a writ of affidavit of legal notice, cancellation of electoral enrollment and registration number 2160293, pursuant to Part 3, Section 4, Subsection 1B of the National Identification and Registration Act 2020. Attention, registration clerk. Now we are addressed the Electoral Commission of Jamaica. And for my area, it's Region 6, constituency number 55, St. Catherine Southern, and that's over there by Pines. Attention, registration clerk Susan Blackwood. I hereby present the cancellation of my electoral registration record number 2160293 in the Register General's Department, Island Record Office, Jamaica. Number 1, for the record, I, Linton O'Neill of the House of Dallas, also known as Awa or Linton Dallas, principal and executor over the Linton O'Neill Dallas Estate in Trust, does not delegate no authority to no body politic, body corporate, or corporate government, or its agents. Number 2, for the record, I, Linton O'Neill of the House of Dallas, do not meet the qualification to vote, for I am an American Awak Indian and a Commonwealth citizen or national, but not a citizen of Jamaica, pursuant to the British Nationality Act of 1948 and the Constitution of Jamaica, 1962, Chapter 2, Section 9, Subsection 1, and Section 10, still extant, meaning existing laws. For the record, I have revoked and rescind all contracts made, all contracts, including but not limited to all powers of attorney, known or unknown, that I may have made during infancy CF Declaration of Deed, Public Record 8009, and Superior Court of Record, Public Record 3343. I understand that this presentment to cancel the electoral registration will serve as written notification of my intent to have my own electoral registration enrollment record cancelled and removed from the registry. Amend the record accordingly. Printed name, location, date of birth, driver's license amendment, amended exempt, treasury exemption number. I, Linton O'Neill of the House of Dallas, principal and executor, doing business as Linton Dallas, do solemnly and sincerely declare that the foregoing particulars stated in this declaration are true, and I made this solemn declaration conscientiously believing the same to be true. Give thanks. So basically, this is solution to it's basically high comprehension of what I'm looking at, and because there is provision to remove yourself from these things legally, lawfully, as you can see. And this is where we have make our steps and give our public notice of our intent. We are not breaking any laws here. So this should remove the delegation or the assume or presume delegation of authority from this corporate body politics, because we do have a right to choose our own political affiliation, and we do have a right to choose our national affiliation. And by default, only by default, I discover that we are British. We just say subjects, whether we like it or not. Yeah, man, and as a British subject, the government of Jamaica has no claim or authority, control or jurisdiction over our actions as Commonwealth nationals. That's the equivalent to saying I'm an American national. It's one and the same, according to their laws, their constructs. But around here on the island, we had to work with the documents that is here, which is the 1948 British Nationality Act, which was amended to 1962 Jamaica Constitution, where Chapter 3 was amended by assent in 2011. Only Chapter 3 was amended. So most of whatever else that was in place as law is still existing law, still extant. Only because the documents say whatever law was created before. Notwithstanding, this thing cannot really remove those laws. Basically, that's what he's saying. So it's still extant. And this is where we choose to just take our steps, our baby steps. There's a lot of advanced people out there doing a lot of great things. And because of my position and situation, I gain access to a lot of different people with a lot of different point of views. But I'll say this publicly. As much as I appreciate love and really give thanks for the strength and the share, just permit us as a common group of people who is now becoming uncommon to take our baby steps to find our way in such a way that we won't get lost and we can leave that pathway for our progenies. So, as much as you guys' information and different school of thought is really out there and great and you know what I mean, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. And to start look here and there will be a distraction for I personally. will be a distraction. So I cannot dismiss any information. What I can do is put it to the side for when that time comes along. Right now, we are taking baby steps to unravel what was set in place. And the only way we can do that is actually and factually reverse engineer what was there. Because here we are now with a government called Jamaica. And before, we had a government called the United Kingdom and Colonies. Before that, we have a government called Spain. And before that, we were Americans here existing free, unencumbered, unrestricted. So by the core, by our true nature, we are Americans, specifically Arawak Indians from this side, Jamaica, now known as Jamaica. This is who we are. And the government of Jamaica was created or instituted in 1962. And when you prove that document, when you look at that document, and they ask the question, from where does this document derive? From what law? What give it the authority to even come into existence? And you'll go right back to the British Nationality Act of 1948, where these are the laws that was actually governing this area, this island. When 1962 presented itself and we gained so-called independence, this was when a treaty with the Americans, the United States of America, that organization which is separate and distinct from the landmass America, and which is still separate and distinct from the physical company, the physical office, which is United States. So in 1962, Jamaica and the United States of America went into a business treaty. And this was when the British, Her Majesty of the British, the United Kingdom, claimed to have no responsibility for the government of Jamaica. That's a political body, corporate government of Jamaica. That's a distinction. Why? Because we still have a head of state saying it's the crown. Now, how do we rectify this? We have to do it step by step. We have to tear it away a layer at a time, So my first solution was the renunciation of citizenship from Jamaica, but we retain our Commonwealth national status, and that give us legal capacity in their corporate construct. And then we go ahead and remove ourselves from the electoral registry enrollment. Now, there is no delegation of absolutely no form of authority to no corporate body politic known as the government of Jamaica. And this is where we are taking step by step. So we are said, just give us our little moment in time to make our baby steps and try to do it appropriately in complete conformity with the construct known as constitutional laws. So give us that moment, people. We are the common folk. We're not as brilliant as you guys in these, you know what I mean? Organization that is way more advanced than where we are. So as much as we praise the love, the effort, when we are asked for specific things. We don't necessarily need the extra stuff, really. You know what I mean? And we totally respect everyone's point of view. But as people existing on this earth, we gotta realize that irrespective of our differences, we still have share the same. You know say, air that we are breathe. We still have share the same earth where we're on. Different locations. was designated for different groups. However, still have to give thanks for who we are, what we are, where we are, so we can make our claim. For me personally, I'm no African. I make no African claim. I have no interest in absolutely no one trying to give me information, giving me any kind of jurisdiction over somewhere where I don't belong, where I am not. So as much as I can respect those information, it not apply to me, so I'm not waste my time there. Truly. I can't tell a man what to do. I'm trying to show people what I am doing. And if a man can aid me on my journey, then that we will always give thanks for. But we kind of have enough of the distractions, the deviations. You know what I mean? We have enough of that. So we choose to just stay focused on the task at hand. And the task at hand is this oppressive system that is implementing all kind of policies where apply only to its members, and its members are its citizens. So I choose to remove myself from those membership. And this is the format, this is the process, and I'm taking it step by step. So gratitude, people. We can only do what we can with the limited resource and with the, let us cooperation and support of our common folk. We don't necessarily have no corporate backing. We don't necessarily have no interest. You know what I mean? We rather build like how we are built. Grassroots, common people, applying themselves, now becoming uncommon and pushing forward. Always pushing forward. So it's a step-by-step process for us. We are doing things a little bit specific and a little bit, either said different, but we really make concerted effort to conform with the laws that's there, the constitutional laws. Anything outside of these things is policy, so we don't necessarily adhere to the policy. We work with the laws that are in place and whatever process and construct to make sure we are recognized in our capacity, lawful and legal, as Commonwealth national, but not a citizen of Jamaica. Complete gratitude for the time, complete gratitude for the presence. Again, we get so much information about people being in this corona, this COVID, this disease, this pandemic. We have all kind of information. I said people are going to the hospital, and when them get on the oxygen, it is being manipulated by the hospital staff only because they were ordered to turn the oxygen level from probably 100% to about 60% to about 40% to about 20%, and then the mortal rate just grow. A lot of people just die. And I hear the Prime Minister said there will be investigation, but can the facts that's supposed to be guarding the end house investigate itself? Who can we get as an independent body outside this corporate construct to be a fact finder, neutral fact finder? So this is our dilemma. Now we have to take things into our own hands and make sure we have records of our actions step by step. So there is no, say, mistakes, there's no presumptions, there's no assumptions. Again, gratitude, people. Solutions we really are trying to attain here. focus is on solution, not necessarily the problem. We have more than enough people sharing information and focusing on all different kind of problems. So we try to work alongside the people and we are bring solutions. This thing is very, very few. Some of these people, their solution is just too complex. It's too much this form, that form, and all kind of garbage, taking you down some places where you will get lost somewhere. We just not have no interest in some of those things. As brilliant as your ideas and your interest and what you're doing is, I think you're still trying, just like how we are what we are doing. It's just that you guys are so way out there. Sometimes you miss the practical steps. Again, you're probably more advanced where these steps that we're making, you've already covered those steps. So this is why I said give us a chance to make our basic steps. And we don't need a distraction. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. It's a step-by-step process. Andrew Holiness said, how dare you impose on me to put something in my body that I don't want? And then he said, can't we find a better way? Can't continue. And he's even talking about you can't continue to infringe on individual rights. Now, this is what the Prime Minister said. I have to find a way to upload this thing to this channel so the people can hear it from that horses or that donkeys or whomever's mouth. But this is the fork town where most politicians keep. They say one thing publicly to the slave and they do something totally private, the national people, privately. So we don't have no issue with these politicians that choose to do. Once we remove ourselves from their construct and their governance, we leave them, let them do what they want to do. And whoever choose to follow those guys, that's a free will choice. Here I'm showing where this is a solution that is laid out. This is a recourse where you can find redress and remove yourself from all of these things once you're in a lawful capacity. When you're on this side, you know, you have to function lawfully. You know what I mean? You move all criminality from your existence. Now we are enforce law. You become the author and the source of law. So it's not a thing where you come on this level and you start act like, you know, like our criminal act. Just by doing that, it's like you remove all the immunity that was there. Yeah, man. So we have to know. So this thing come with a whole bunch of responsibility. It's not just a personal thing to say, hey, me. No, it's a common people thing who choose to apply themselves and elevate from that common status to uncommon. You know what I mean? And align yourself or arm yourself with correct knowledge where you can function and navigate through this matrix of a system harmoniously, lawfully, and in fact, legally. So we're not here to try so we are bringing any change I want, you know. So the Rastafari movement was here. From 1933, the Rastafari movement gained dominance with the incarnation of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie. We are aware that Emperor Haile Selassie is one of the most, it has said, renowned figures of this earth. And we can say the Leagues of Nations was the first international body created in order to bring collective security. And Emperor Haile Selassie was, one of the founding fathers of that construct, which was now, evolved into the United Nations, which is located in New York City. The work where His Imperial Majesty have done is great. And when you talk about human rights, yes, when you look at the documents that's in place and the historical records, we can point back and say, yes, this man come and say equal rights and justice for all, human rights. You know what I mean? Until we move the racism and the classism, when him say until the color of a man's skin is of no more significant than the color of his eyes. Now, tell me this. When my ancestors them there, we never have them problem there where we are dealing with different man with different color and different eyes. All I will did stay like how we stay before foreign man with different color eye come here. So we totally comprehend the concept. So when you talk about human rights, that's one side of it. But there's what is known as your fundamental rights and freedom that predate anything what happened in the 1900s where the Leagues of Nations or the United Nations is concerned. I remember, in the Bible, the Most High said them form a confederacy against the Most High and against his anointed. You understand? So we're not there to bring no kind of discord. In fact, we would rather unite with the Muslim, whether you are this kind of more or that kind of more, or you are Muslim, this or that. From we can find common ground, make we unite. When you say Rastafari, if your crown head is in Ethiopia or anywhere you're there, we must can unite. We can share information and we can build and grow. And we keep a personal religious opinion. We don't keep that to ourselves, man. If you're a Christian, it's the very same thing. Irrespective of where you claim them. At the root, we are all living soul manifest as man. And when I say man, I mean man, woman, and child. We are all living soul. And sometimes people become product of them environment until them attain autonomy. When them start think for themselves and ask questions for themselves and choose to gravitate to whatever information or resonate with their deoxyribonucleic acid or resonate with them soul, with them DNA. That's the information you're going to naturally attracted to. Until somebody shines some other light, and if it even when some light or some different information come to you, you don't necessarily will accept it. Even when it's truth, you don't necessarily will accept it. Because your DNA is structured in such a way where this is what it is for you. For me, I don't know if I'm rigged like that. I just know say boy I not have no African interest or no kind of nothing to do with not going to Africa or back to Africa. Everything in me I said this is who I am and this is where I am. This place, America, right here. And as such, with this very passion, I will, speak on this behalf. I will lobby on this behalf, on the Americans' behalf, on being free from the foreign construct. We don't have no interest to leave from one foreign construct to get enslaved in the next foreign construct. We have no interest in that. I know for a fact if I go to Africa now and sit with any African and say, greetings, I am African, but my born them go and correct me and say, boy, brother, with all due respect, over there is your place. Don't let them fool you. So we have enough of the Pan-Africans, and we have some brand new Pan-Africans arise up. You understand? We have enough of that. If that's your thing, fine. But don't bring it across like this is everybody's thing. You understand? If you are a Moor And you deal with more rich and more all of these things. Listen, we respect that. But please, don't push it on I or people when they have no interest in going in that direction. Now push it on it. We're going to rebut it and we're going to just remove ourselves from them kind of energy. If we can't come together and learn on a level where every man respect what every man else do, then it don't make sense to come together. It will bring distraction, it will cause discord. I man can't upon this rock here and claim anything about me and Moroccan or me or Islam or me and nothing at all when all of the documents are show that them bring Christianity come here and with Christianity come all three sects of religion. The Judaism, the Islamism and the same Christianism. All three sects came here. Don't tell me say one was here before because we have no documented proof. I mean, I have no interest in looking at some made up thing where some people make up and bring forward saying, hey, this is what it is. We are talking about right now. What's happening now? How can we find recourse, redress, or solution now for the situation we are in now? We don't have no interest in a 500, 6,000, 7,000 now. It started in 1492, so we address it from 1492. Who are these people who came here in 1492? And this is the cause. We don't know about no more cause before then. So we are dealing with it from this point. And this is where my interest lies. Anything and everything else is beautiful and fine, but it got to remove it from our focus. And this is the subtlety of the adversarial spirit. It come in all form. And it will come with truth for offer help, but the motive and the real agenda is to take you away, take you somewhere else, or remove you from your path. And they won't do it in a way where it's obvious. It will always be subtle. So this is what I'm saying to everyone out there. Obliquely, respect or effort to amend our status. Respect the fact that we're common folk and we're choose to take it step by step. That way, all common folk can choose to make that step. Nothing complex, no complexities. None of these foreign information. We're right here on this rock. If I'm in Morocco or I'm in Africa, those are the information I'll pay attention to. But I cannot be in America and making any African claim. I cannot be in America and subject myself to anything outside of this jurisdiction here in America, this hemisphere. So really and truly, I am not interested, and I'm hoping this can serve as notice to most of my good people and where we have a whole heap of love and respect for. So respect what we are trying to do while we continue to respect others in whatever their endeavors is. Aid us when you can, because we are asked for specific things. If it's a pin or a needle, that's what we need. We're not going to ask for a diamond ring when we don't have no use for it. So it's a step by step, people. The brave may fall, but never yield. We say bold and brave, firm and strong, or walk in their nation in America. This specific society mustard seed, but the dynasty is ancient. It is an ancient dynasty. Gratitude for your time, gratitude for your presence. Hope this one wasn't too long. Solution, solutions. Come on, free, dominion, freedom, freedom in, solutions, solutions, solutions.